Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us today at NUFDI's Blossoms of Bravery exhibit highlighting the freedom fighters in Iran and those who have been killed since Mahsa Amini's murder. It's a particular honor to have with us today speaking enemy number one of dictators around the world, be it the Chinese Communist Party, be it Putin, be it Assad in Syria, and of course what we're here to talk about today, Khamenei in Iran. Congressman Joe Wilson has been a longtime leader on this issue, an enemy of dictators and a supporter of freedom fighters around the world. And we're extremely humbled and honored that on the one-year anniversary of Mahsa Amini's murder and the national revolution in Iran, that Congressman Wilson is kind enough to join us for remarks today. Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, and friends and supporters of a free Iran, I'm Joe Wilson. I'm chairman of the Middle East, North Africa, Central Asia Subcommittee of the Foreign Affairs Committee of the United States House of Representatives, and I'm very, very grateful to be with you today. Actually, I have a personal interest in the people of Iran. I still remember getting married 43 years ago, and as I was leaving the church and my eyes finally could focus on the first couple that I saw as I was leaving the church, it was Ali and Ezra Davani. And I'm really grateful, Iranian Americans who were making a difference in the medical community of South Carolina. And so over and over, I know firsthand how talented the people are of Iran, how brave they are, and we look forward to a free and liberated Iran on behalf of the people of Iran. With that in mind, I'm really grateful that today is going to be a significant day in the United States House of Representatives. And that is that with the horrific death of Mahsa Amini on September the 16th, 2022, at the hands of the regime's morality police, the world witnessed a tremendous show of collective outrage and unity among the people of Iran against the brutal theocratic regime and in support of a secular and democratic Iran. The initial protest took place across hundreds of cities and rural towns, bringing tens of thousands together of students, pensioners, and across every age range. This is critical because while protests against the regime have been a frequent occurrence, these have been far the most visible and unified showing of the Iranians from all backgrounds. Over 550 people, and the American people need to know this, people of the world need to know this, including children, have been murdered by the Iranian regime for the peaceful protesting following Mahsa Amini's death, and 20,000 have been arrested, with many sentenced to execution. The protests continue, and the resolve of the people of Iran continue, as the crackdown also continues. Hundreds of girls and women have been hospitalized following the targeted poisoning of girls' schools by the regime. Unconscionable conduct. With the help of the Chinese Communist Party and war criminal Putin, the regime has deployed mass surveillance technology and limited communications among the people. Images of family members being beaten and thrown into vans as they inquire about the whereabouts of their loved ones continue to flood social media. And what an opportunity we have today with social media. The dictators can't hide. It can be documented. With facial recognition, the people who are committing these crimes need to know that they will be identified, the chain of command will be identified, and one day there will be war crimes that they will have to account for. Despite the threat of death and torture, estimates indicate that there have been 4,000 protest rallies since the last year. The world remains inspired by the Iranian people, particularly the young women who continue to risk their lives in pursuit of the most basic principles of human dignity, and I am grateful to support their efforts by holding the regime accountable for the vile abuses against humanity. Today, the House will pass the historic Mahsa Act to impose sanctions holding the regime accountable for their crimes against humanity. And so often you can actually tell people that you support them, but we have legislation today with 129 co-sponsors, and it's Republicans and Democrats together. We are unified in a bipartisan manner to support the people of Iran. With the will of the courageous Iranians, there will be justice and accountability for the thousands of lives taken by the regime, and importantly, freedom for the people of Iran. I'm just grateful again to be here today, and it's such an inspiration, and I want to commend you. Something that's so meaningful is to have the individual stories. The people of the world need to see the portraits of those persons who have been murdered. They need to see the bios of the persons, and we can all identify with our children, our grandchildren, that this could occur. And this is the 21st century. This should not be occurring. This is a great opportunity, particularly with the technology we have, to set a standard of freedom and liberty for the people of Iran. Thank you very much. When you say authoritarian, we know what that means. When you say totalitarian, okay, I'm an unreconstructed